welcome back to another video. As you can see, I am in the truck today and I'm featuring my husband, Hotshot Macc. We are en route to South Dakota and he's like, I need you to come with me, and I was like, no, and then he's like, yes, and then we did a vote on Instagram, and guess what the vote majority said? That I must go on the road. So here I am on the road.
Bring your ass.
You said bring my ass. Anyways, in today's video, we are going to be discussing, is non-CDL hotshot trucking, is it worth it to get in the industry now? If you're jumping into the industry as a non-CDL hotshot trucker. So we're going to be discussing, since we've been having this discussion right now, is non-CDL hotshot trucking, is it worth it getting into it right now as we speak? We're coming to the end of 2022. About to start 2023. Is it worth it to get in the industry with a non-CDL setup?
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Does it make sense now? So the first thing that we have noticed is the cost of equipment is definitely higher than it was when we initially started. Right now, a 2,500 or a 3,500 can easily go for about 80 to 90 grand. Trailers are, a non-CDL trailer where it used to go for $8,000, they're currently going for like $14,000, $16,000, depending on, you know, what upgrades you add on to it. So you're already going to be starting with a higher overhead unless you're actually paying for that equipment on cash, which even if you pay for the equipment cash, at the end of the day you still have to consider the price that you paid and how much you're making, because it still doesn't mean you're profitable because your equipment is paid off. You have to wait until, you know, you've made profits on it and you're paid off all your equipment, quote unquote, what you invested. What do you think? What do you say about that?
I think it just depends on, you know, the capital that someone is coming in with when it comes to equipment, what they can afford. And, you know, even before buying equipment, they got to understand what they're getting into and what other costs are going to be. Buying cash is cool, but, you know, still where the rates are, you know, your profit, your return is not as much as it was like last year for us when we started.
I think when we started last year, it was like a whole different ball game where their freight was more, there was more freight and the rates were higher. I think they were historically higher in the market, in the trucking market. So that's why so many people jumped into the industry. We jumped into this industry not even knowing that it was booming at the time. We just got in at the right time. And right now, one of the things that I would suggest is just really looking into what the market is doing, especially in your area where you live, and really see what kind of freight is moving where you're coming from.
That's it. People got to do that before getting in the industry.
Right.
After they get in the industry to start learning more about it. Like for me, luckily when I was leased on, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know a lot when I started, but the fact that I was leased on helped out, and that helped out with knowing, you know, where the freight is at, you know, where are they putting me, where are they putting the truck. But at the end of the day, you know, non-CDL trucking last year versus this year,
it's not what it used to be.
It's not what it used to be. So what I would say it's not worth it.
You would say it's not worth it?
No, not to get into non-CDL right now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't suggest it. I wouldn't recommend it unless, you know, people have already a direct shipper just waiting for them to get equipment. You know, or you have customers, or you have a company that you're going to lease on to that has contracts and customers already. That's going to keep you moving.
Right.
Versus chancing it and just say, hey man, I'm gonna hop in here off of the low board and make them do what they do. I mean, granted, some people do it, some people are doing it, but then I think the majority right now, a lot of people are quitting, a lot of people are selling their equipment, not only for non-CDL, for CDL.
I think the whole industry overall is hurting, not only non-CDL, not CDL, or flatbed, dry vans. It's just the whole trucking industry is just hurting overall.
Right.
I would really suggest checking out the website called FreightWaves. They have a lot of information there about the market, what the market is doing, and read up on it. So even when we go, because obviously a lot of our loads, I would say a good 70% of our loads are from the spot market because we're over the road. Being over the road, meaning even if we pick up a load from a direct shipper or so forth, we still have to come back. So we still have to use the spot market for backhaul. And you know, sometimes it could be hard, especially if he's trying to come back to Houston or, you know, Texas is just super saturated right now. We're leaving out of Texas and coming into Texas. The brokers know it, that there's so many trucks waiting to come in or come out, where they lowball on the rates, meaning they try to get you to move free for $1.60, $1.80, especially if they know you're a hotshot. So if you're a non-CDL hotshot and you're limited to how much weight you can carry, let's say an average non-CDL hotshot can carry anything between 8,500 and 11,000 pounds, you're really limiting what you can do. And again, it's not saying that it's not possible. It's possible, but I would just
It'll
really
be possible when if mostly everything aligns.
right.
You know what I'm saying, like you come in, you have a good capital, you have a good reserve. Your dispatcher is gonna say a lot. You know, you're gonna have to have a dispatcher that has the patience to run a non-CDL truck,
Exactly.
and the contacts to run a non-CDL truck, and the skill to maybe partial loads, especially with what rates are, knowing what a partial is. Dispatcher that's gonna really necessarily hustle for you. Get you your totings, get you your detention time, get you everything that you deserve. Because some of them really are just looking to put a piece of freight on your equipment and
that's it.
They don't really care about too much of where it is that you're going, what you're going with, how heavy it is.
Well, a lot of them don't understand the logistics of the equipment. They just know it's a hotshot, but every trailer is completely different on what you can hold. Like what kind of axles you have, how long is your trailer.
Honestly, like you gotta be, because a lot of people that are into this non-CDL or even CDL, they dispatch themselves. Like you gotta be doing something different than what everybody else is doing. You gotta also kind of make yourself specialized in this niche,
right?
Hotshot trucking or non-CDL hotshot trucking.
Cool.
You gotta maximize in different ways. Are you taking vehicles? Are you taking farm equipment? What kind of ramps do you have? What are you know what I'm saying? Like if you get one piece that's 15 feet, are you dedicating that, or are you gonna partial that based on how it's posted on the board and things like that? I don't think it's worth it, and I think we transitioned at the right time because things just took a turn. And one thing that's huge that you haven't spoken about yet is the amount of hotshots, the amount of non-CDL hotshots.
Yeah, it's crazy. The amount of non-CDL hotshots, because it's so easy. You have to remember, it's so easy to get into the hotshot, and again, that's how we started, right? Non-CDL. But I think at the time we weren't really consciously of what was happening in the industry. We didn't really understand a lot that was happening. A lot of the videos out there on YouTube were not really explaining the market. I don't think I saw any videos explaining what's happening in the market or anything, because there was nothing really going on at the time. The market was booming. So
I mean, it was a pandemic,
right?
People were buying shit.
And a lot of people are not buying as they used to. Equipment costs is probably double now, only double but triple. I was discussing with a shipper that her cost to transport her goods, and she mentioned that a container, to transport her goods overseas to the States, it used to cost her $1,800, but right now it's costing her $8,800, which is absolutely crazy. And she's like, I don't mind to pay for transport, like trucking transport. I understand that the fuel is up. I understand that the cost to operate is higher, period.
So is it worth it?
Yes or no? See or no?
Are you leaving it up to me to determine if it's worth it or not by what you're telling me to do?
No, I think it's worth it on the long run. How much time you invested in. If you put all that work, it's worth it.
Non-CDL?
At the beginning, that's anything. Non-CDL, CDL, it doesn't matter. He makes it. He makes good money. But that man never stops, bro. I mean, he grinds. Like, that man, he takes some losses sometimes here and there, but he makes it up for him. Like, he
how does
grinds.
he make up for the rates, where the rates are at?
Sometimes he takes a heavier load right there, like a little oversized or something like that.
So he's doing something different. He's doing something specialized.
Yeah, he wants to move first. He likes the Mickey Mouse. We always talk about Mickey Mouse loads, the little light loads. But occasionally, Yeah, and he deadheads a lot. He
Gotcha.
deadheads a lot. Is it worth it? I think it's worth it on the long run, bro.
So
And how much effort you have.
So will you say people that think that the first year they're gonna be making thousands of dollars and be profitable, do you think that makes sense or no?
I think they're gonna make thousands of dollars, but I don't think it's gonna be profitable.
Yeah, man, thousands of dollars.
Duh, that makes sense.
You said thousands of dollars.
We are. They should be able to make at least 100 grand minimum,
Yeah.
and that's slow.
So the first thing I need to do is take a look at the market, learn everything about it, the back office, you know, just operating on the market. Is that what you said?
For me, is what I tell them is you need to find out the ins and outs on the truck. Your maintenance, not just your payment, not just the power, how much it can tow. That's basic. That's free. That's something you can learn by just looking on the website. Learn how much money you're going to invest by the mileage. How much you think you're going to be driving at 3,000 miles a week minimum, or let's just say 28,000 miles a week. How many miles you're going to put on maintenance? Are you going to pay the dealership price, or are you going to pay the mom and pops? He found the mom and pops. He did it on his own now. It's like, find the ins and outs on your maintenance. How much money you going to spend a month? You spend a month on oil changes. And there's always something breaking again.
Well, pretty much you got to break everything down.
It could be a valve stem, it could be a fucking split lead, it could be a bushing, it could be a bolt, it can be a light, it can be something. Think about what you're gonna jump into this industry. Are you gonna be your own operator? Look at the loan for the insurance. Can you manage that a month? So if you can manage paying, only surviving for the first 6 months, or up to a year now, the way it looks,
Yeah.
just paying your truck and trailer and insurance and just barely surviving, not having enough money for your mortgage, light, water, and shit like that.
That's the
Because you
thing.
don't spend.
Is it worth that right now? Like especially with the way the rates are versus the operating costs, it may not make sense right now. Somebody may just need to wait until things get
I
better.
personally think it's not worth it.
Okay, when it would be worth it?
When there's a change in the market.
If there is.
It's just like yo, is it a buying market now for real estate? Is it selling? I think I kind of look at it kind of similar. Like right now is not the time to buy your house. If you know what I'm saying, if it was that time in real estate.
During winter, you're right, I wanted to recommend them.
And
Because they're new to this industry. They're gonna be scared, they're gonna minimize themselves, and they're gonna limit themselves.
They're not experienced enough to know how to manage and maneuver through the tough times.
And it's gonna take more investment money.
But it's some people can do it. I feel like if you got the capital, if you got the contacts, if you got the whether it's leasing on or whatever to keep you moving, and you're able to move at a decent rate.
All right, ask me this question: how many people have jumped into this industry with contacts?
None.
That you
Not
know
a
of?
lot.
Exactly, because all they do is want to learn about a truck and trailer and what kind of low board you want to use. None of them ever want to know anything important.
Yeah.
How to manage it. They don't have the discipline. So if they don't have the discipline to learn something that's going to be value and is going to affect their credit and is going to affect their livelihood, they're not ready for this.
Right.
The people that I help are the people that surprise me, that ask me questions like, I don't even want to charge you, bro. Come on, man, let's do this. Come on.
They're serious. They're asking the right question.
We are on our 34-hour reset. I didn't get to complete the video earlier because the road was just crazy. As you guys can see, I'm a whole different person when I'm rested. This is the load that we have. It's an oversized load, and it's not oversized by width, it's oversized by length. Overhanging set 6 feet. Anyways, just to wrap up this video, I want to leave you with 3 things to think about if you're considering jumping into the industry right now. 1 is consider your capital, how much capital you have. 2 is the market or supply and demand. And 3, rates. What are the rates for Hotshot trucking, for non-CDL Hotshot trucking? What is it doing? This is not to discourage anybody. This is just really just showing, you know, the reality, the truth, what's happening right now in the industry. We've done it, we're doing it. Do your own research so that way when you're jumping in, you have nobody to blame but yourself because you decided to jump in without doing your research, right?
Like you said, it's not to discourage y'all. I've had so many people come back and, you know, say, hey, why didn't you say, you know, it was this way, or how come you didn't say this about insurance and this?
Or say the real truth.
Honestly, it's not up to me to tell you guys or show you guys the way. You guys got to do your own homework. But right now, everyone has their different opinion and their different experience. Me, I wouldn't really recommend jumping in right now, but we're about to go into winter. Wait it out a little bit, man. See what the market does.
That's another thought. The winter and flatbeds is not really, it doesn't mix well together. It's off season for flatbeds actually. Anyways, with that being said, we are closing out this video. I want to thank y'all for staying to the end of this video. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new to my channel, and subscribe to my husband's channel, Macc Media TV, and see you guys in the next video. Peace.